Okay guys, let's make this a quick one because my next lecture is starting in like a couple of minutes, okay? Okay guys, welcome back to another video. This time I quickly want to tell you about all the books I read in May, right? Gosh, the months are flying past, aren't they? Anyways, okay, so 4 of the books I've read this month I've already talked about in my last video, which was, I'm going to link it up above and down below, 7 Korean books I recommend to you guys. The books I'm talking about in this video, which I have read in this past month, are Human Acts, Crying in H-Mart, The Interpreter, and oh yeah, Please Look After Mom. I'm not going to talk about them in depth in this video, but if you are interested in any of them, check out that other video. Okay, other books I read this past month. So we have those 4. Then I read 2 theater plays. The first one was Hamlet by Shakespeare. I read that for that same Shakespeare class that I already read Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth for. I mentioned them in my April wrap-up video, and actually that's the lecture that will start in a couple of minutes, so gotta be fast. The next play I'm going to read for that one is Richard III. I'm going to start that in a couple of days, but so that's going to be part of my June reading wrap-up. And the other play I read was Maria Stuart by Schiller. That was amazing. Like we read that in school, like in high school, but that is a few years back, right? But it is an amazing play. I think a lot of people might actually also like it in the 21st century, because it's like there are 2 very strong female protagonists, and it's like about their power battle kind of. It is a very, very good play. Actually, I'm very intrigued to watch the movie adaptation starring Saoirse Ronan. How the fuck do you pronounce that name, right? And who's the other one? Elizabeth something. Oh no, I think it's Margot Robbie. Is that right? Maybe not. I haven't watched the movie yet. I think we have it on DVD, but I hope I'm gonna watch it in like the next couple of days. But yeah, I can only highly recommend that one. So that would be the first 7 books. Then afterwards I read a book for uni. Usually I don't mention stuff I read for uni unless it's like entire plays, entire books that I read for uni. And in this instance I also had to read an entire book. I think I'm maybe only gonna insert like the title page right here, and I'm not gonna maybe specifically recommend this book since it's only been published in German so far. But I would maybe like to encourage you, my viewers, to do some research about the topic in general. This book was about restitution of cultural artifacts that have been stolen or looted during times of colonial occupation. It's a very fascinating subject. I think that's also the subject I'm going to write my bachelor thesis on, so that's why I'm like doing a lot of research on that right now already. But yeah, so this book was also like about that. And yeah, I can only recommend you to do research on that. It is highly fascinating and something, there's so much work to be done in that field. It is insane. Okay, that would be 7 books until now. Now the next 3 books that I read were Agatha Christie's. I have all the books that I'm talking about right here, but I'm lazy to get them out, I'm sorry. The 3 Agatha Christie ones I read were, I read them in Spanish again, but I think the English titles would be Muerte and the Vicaría. What was the second one? Oh yeah, A Murder is Announced. And the third one might be something like, I don't know, Blood in the Pool. But yeah, the English title must be different than that, because that doesn't sound good at all. I mean, all of them were very nice. My favorite out of those 3 was definitely A Murder is Announced, but that is like one of my all-time favorite Agatha Christie's in general. I'm gonna upload, like, one of the next videos I want to film is actually like solely dedicated to Agatha Christie. I'm just gonna talk more about her work in general in that video, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it right now, but that one was amazing. The Murder in the Vicaría thing was, for the entire book I thought I knew who the murderer was, and of course it wasn't the person who I thought did it. So, but that is just typically Agatha Christie. It's never the person who you think it is, even if you're a good sleuth yourself, you know, you can never figure it out. And then the last one with the blood in the pool, it must have a different title. That one, the person got murdered, that the entire first half of the book is dedicated to making him very unlikable in the eyes of the viewer, or like the reader, which of course then makes it nice that he's the one being murdered. But at the same time, like reading that first half, all those details about him that make you not want to like him, of course it wasn't fun to read that, because it's like about him having like so many affairs, cheating on his wife, and you're like just like, don't want to read this, right? Anyways, but I always love me a good Agatha Christie, so I enjoyed those books. And now the last book, the 11th book that I started in the month of May. I keep forgetting the months, you guys. Shit. Sorry, I also keep fixing my hair because like this, what is going on here, right? Anyways, the last book I started, it was also uni that inspired me to read this book, because we read an excerpt of this book in uni and I kind of loved it, so I decided I want to read the entire book, and that is Walden by, wait, Henry David Thoreau. Is that the author's name? I think so. It is kind of hard to talk about this book, I feel, because it's not like a narrative is being told, but it's like this guy, it's like a real life account, and it's like kind of like not his memoir, but yeah, maybe his memoir. Can you say that? Anyways, so he lived in the woods for 2.5 years, I think, and he's telling you about that, but not just about that, he's also like giving you his general ideas on society, on economy, on general mankind. And to be honest, I think it's hilarious. There are so many like iconic quotes in there. I'm loving it. I am, just like a quick disclaimer, I do not know anything else about this author. And considering he's like a white man in the, gosh, which century is it? I'm gonna insert it here because I don't want to say anything, you know, wrong. But that makes it very likely that he also like did or said stuff in his lifetime that would be highly controversial at this point. So I'm not saying that I'm loving everything this author has ever done or said. Okay, just putting that out there. I only know this one book, and I'm only like a fifth or a fourth into it at this point. But this particular work of his, I enjoy very much. But since it's not like a narrative being told, it is not necessarily a book you have to read from A to Z in like a couple of days, because it's not like you could forget the plot line, because there is no plot line. It's just like this guy telling you his take on the world, basically. So I'm reading it more like paragraphs, chapters at a time. So this book, I might like still read it throughout the entire month of June. Yeah, these are all the books I read in May. This was like a very quick run through now, because I'm looking at the clock right now and I don't have a lot of time left. But yeah, I really enjoyed them, but I'm especially looking forward to all the books I'm reading this month, in the month of June. There's a lot of good book content coming your way, and I'm very excited about it. But that's for another time. By the way, did you notice my beautiful bookshelf in the background? I would love to give you like a little bookshelf tour if you're interested in that, but I'm only gonna do it when people ask me for it, because I'm petty like that. But that is a option. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Maybe you got inspired by any of these books or like these subjects I introduced, and I will see you next time. Bye!